The Palestinian city of Rafah is the next and last step to defeat Hamas, and the Israeli war cabinet is expected to speed up the start of the operation in Rafah, while Hamas continues to engage in psychological warfare, releasing a video of a well-known hostage, Hersh. Elsewhere, new satellite photos show that Iran tried to cover up the damage caused by the Israeli attack while taking encouragement from the protests in the United States. Let's dive into the details. I'm Yair Pinto, and this is your Boots on the Ground report about what is happening in Israel on the 202nd day of the war against Hamas, Hezbollah, Iran, the Houthis, the Iraqi Shiite militias, and who knows what else. More than half a year has passed since the beginning of the war and the terrible ordeal of Israeli hostages and their families. The Israeli negotiating teams recently presented a far-reaching proposal from the point of view of the Israeli government. This proposal was appreciated by the mediators, mainly the United States, who saw it as a possibility for a breakthrough in reaching a deal. But Hamas rejected it almost immediately. The Hamas rejection of the Israeli proposal brings Israel to a critical decision regarding Rafah, where there are currently about 1 million Gazan civilians and 4 Hamas battalions that have not yet been dealt with by the IDF. There is also a strong possibility that Sinwar and senior Hamas leaders are staying in the tunnel underneath the city of Rafah, surrounded by Israeli hostages who they intend to use as human shield. It is clear that the situation in the Strip is complex and requires patience and long-term military and political planning. Israel will have to prepare detailed plans and present them to the Americans regarding the removal of the civilian population from Rafah and to move them to a safe place. It is important to remember that even after the operation in Rafah, the IDF expects there to be a prolonged period of generally tense security conditions, which will include regular clashes with small units of Hamas terrorists and raids on known terrorist strongholds. This is similar to the situation in Judea and Samaria, and it's better for everyone than an active war involving large maneuvers, but it will only be possible after the conclusion of the Rafah operation. Some voices are calling for more concessions to Hamas to avoid further bloodshed. But these voices forget that Hamas is a brutal terrorist organization that does not share Western values and ideals. Hamas is making demands that are simply not serious, as they essentially add up to Israel's agreeing to lose this war and allow Hamas to continue as it was before the October 7th attacks, as if nothing happened. Their only goal at this point is survival, and they don't want to give up the only advantage that they still have, which is the remaining hostages. They are also trying to create internal pressure and chaos within Israel. This explains why they published yesterday the first video of a well-known hostage, Hersh Goldberg. This is actually the first sign of life from this young man who was kidnapped from the Nova party on October 7th, losing his left hand when a grenade exploded near him. The video doesn't give us any clues about exactly when it was filmed, but his words seem to indicate that it was from a recent period. We do not wish to assist Hamas in their attempts at psychological warfare, so we will not broadcast the sound from this video. Instead, I will tell you the part that is most important, when he said to his family, "Mom, Dad, Libby, and Orly, I love you very much and miss you very much. I think of you every day I'm here. I know you are doing everything so that I can return home as soon as possible." The 23-year-old Hersh has a dual Israeli and American citizenship. He's the son of Rachel and John, who was born in California, and as mentioned, he spent time at the nature party in Re'im when the Hamas surprise attack was launched 201 days ago. His parents responded this evening to his video from captivity, saying that they were overwhelmed with emotions when they saw their son alive for the first time in more than 6 months. They said, "We are relieved to see him alive, but we are also concerned for his health and well-being, as well as the health of all the other hostages and anyone suffering in this area. We are here today pleading with all the leaders who have negotiated to date. This includes Qatar, Egypt, the United States, Hamas and Israel. Be brave, intervene, seize this moment and make a deal to reunite us, all of us, with our loved ones and end the suffering in the region. Hersh, we heard your voice today for the first time in 201 days. If you can hear us, we say to you, be strong, survive." Meanwhile, the military formations of Hamas are preparing for the IDF's ground maneuver into Rafah. The city is an important strategic asset for Hamas for different reasons, mainly because it sits on the main route of smuggling between Egypt and Israel, so it is of great importance for Hamas and they need to keep control of it. IDF intelligence believes that the 4 Hamas battalions in Rafah are being reinforced by survivors from the battalions that were dismantled by the IDF in previous battles in the northern area of the Gaza Strip. These survivors have managed to retreat to Rafah and are being integrated into the existing frameworks of Hamas. We will continue to keep a close watch on these developments to keep you updated. Please help us share the truth with anyone who wants to know what is happening in Israel. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. It really helps us to reach more people, and share these videos with your friends. Switching our focus to Iran, where new satellite photos tell us that the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps tried to cover up the damage caused by the attack on the Shakari air base in the Isfahan area in Iran last week. It was reported in the British news portal Economist that Iran replaced the air defense system radars that was destroyed in the attack that was widely attributed to Israel within hours. The report said that this was done to obscure the extent of the damage and present it as minimal. But on Saturday, satellite images were revealed showing extensive damage to the Russian-made S-300 air defense system at the base. Later, 2 Iranian officials and 2 Western officials confirmed the reports about the damage to the New York Times. This is notable because the S-300 system was placed at the base to protect it from air attacks, but now everyone knows that the system can't even protect itself, much less the rest of the base or the nearby Natanz nuclear facility. In a related story, more than a week since Israel was attacked by a large barrage of Iranian UAVs, cruise and ballistic missiles, people continue to find pieces of the ballistic missiles that were shot down over Israeli territory. Israel built an array of defense systems over the past 20 years, including the Arrow 2 and Arrow 3 missiles that can intercept ballistic missiles, along with the David Sling system for mid-range interceptions. But these systems have their limits, and there is not an endless supply of interceptors. However, the systems can also determine if the warhead will hit something that needs to be protected, or if it's headed towards an open space where it can explode and not cause damage or casualties, so there is no need to intercept it. This explains why a few ballistic missiles got through and landed in the Negev region of Israel, which is a desert. They were aimed at the Nevatim air base and Dimona, but the radar and the computers determined that they would miss, so no interceptor was fired at them. This also left lots of missiles debris lying around the Negev for Israeli intelligence to find, collect, and analyze, so that we can better understand the engineering and technological capabilities of the Iranians. We will be sharing what we learned with our friends in the United States and elsewhere who also face threats from Iran. Speaking of sharing, please take part in spreading the truth. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, and if you want to actively support our work, please donate to us through the link you see below or through our website at www.tbn.org/Israel. Finally, let us take a look at the increasingly violent protests against Israel taking place on university campuses in many Western countries. These protests have included calls for a global intifada, which is a popular uprising, a female student being attacked and beaten, signs glorifying terrorists, and harassment of Jewish and Israeli students and faculty members. These are just a few of the things Israelis and Jews who study or research at the most prestigious universities in the United States of America have had to deal with since October 7th. Conspiracy theories against the Jewish people are spread in demonstrations and in online forums. Jewish students report being targeted for harassment and are hesitant to wear kippahs and other Jewish symbols. Radicalization is everywhere, especially on the internet. It can quickly turn to violence, as has already happened in several places before. In the elite universities in the United States of America, there are many events on campus on a daily basis that offer students free food and a chance to socialize, a kind of competition for the students' hearts, mind, and stomachs. Those forums are an opportunity for spreading anti-Israel attitudes, and they seem to be having a lot of success. Much of the funding for these events come from Qatar, which has enormous resources and routinely makes large donations to U.S. universities. Israel has no way of matching this form of asymmetric warfare that Qatar is waging against us. This is a conflict between completely different definitions regarding truth, worldviews, morality, and attitudes towards the other and towards reality itself. In order to establish that unique status, Israel must maintain characteristics that will demonstrate that it belongs to the right side of history, including the existence of an independent legal system and a liberal and ideological civil society, along with the willingness to promote a strategic settlement for the Palestinian issue. We must also remind our friends that this is the land of the Bible, and we are the people of the Bible, and this book is the foundation for Western civilization that produced democracy, which is a precious thing that can all too easy be lost. Please continue to spread the truth, follow us, and most importantly, pray. Pray for the truth, pray for the peace of Israel, and pray for the peace of Jerusalem. Together, we will win this war.
Hello, this is Mati here in Jerusalem with TBN Israel.
This is Yair Pinto from TBN Israel here in Jerusalem. TBN Israel is keeping viewers informed with Israel-focused news, culture, and what God is doing in this land.
Support TBN Israel today online at tbn.org/Israel. Thank you.